My name is Jonas Wikström and I work as a program manager at SIDA in Stockholm at the Department for Partnerships and Innovation, and the unit is called Capacity Development. Well, the goals are to further the integration of ICT usage in the education sector in the countries we're working with.
You have to be cold as ice to make your project succeed, because you will face lots of different people.
The way I interacted with my colleagues, I was so convincing that they could not even go away, they could not refuse.
You can't do anything without having knowledge. So the knowledge we obtained while we were learning, even the knowledge we obtained through Life Academy was very crucial to our success.
We were a team and we had a lot of great teamwork. We shared the roles and we made sure that nobody overdrove his or her role.
My project was a very small project because that involved 10 teachers and a couple of students of 2 classes. And they were being connected with me always with a WhatsApp. So whenever they have difficulties, instead of waiting for the 24 hours to next day, they used to call me and they used to send a message, and I would continuously support them. And that helped the students to hit their performance above the world average.
Supports from the top level policymakers.
I would say in the first project succeed is about yourself commitment.
I have a strong determination.
Someone once said there's nothing as important as an idea whose time has come. And I think the ICT with the digital stage that we're in, I think it's an idea whose time is already here.
Management commitment. The management committed to work with me, that lets me to implement my project.
I wrote many proposals to many NGO, non-governmental organizations, to get financial support. And luckily, 2 of them agreed to help me.
The ongoing support from Life Academy. Why I said it's an ongoing, we have regional phase so we can discuss more, and also if I have any question I can go to its learning platform and post it, and also I can Skype with supervisor.
My university lack of budget, but I try to put this project as an action plan of my department also.
Organization has taken it up. From this time they told me to restructure it and they change it into a project, and then they will fund it. That is the success, because they said it's a viable project worth funding.
Our institution worked with us hand in hand, and the institution had also got funds for this project via World Bank.
I worked in an environment whereby ICT integration in teaching and learning and the pedagogical development was already having a foundation.
Having bright minds to advise you and to ask them advices is very, very good.
We had a lot of reviews.
We need expertise in animation, simulations, making, even editing movies. There are so many areas, even the project management itself.
I have the opportunity, the presence of the MAPI project, Medical Education Partnership Initiative, a project that helped me to succeed my project, because it invested more than $1 million in establishing different information technology infrastructures.
As a change agent, we were taught to be resilient, and you make sure you achieve what you want. So I had to make all members, I had to try and make sure that all my colleagues get on board, get to understand what I was trying to explain to them.
Hard and smart work, because you are working with a ICT. In 21st century skills, to achieve the 21st century skills, every learner and every people are to work in a smart way.
the first mistake I made it that I wanted to make the project in a very big scale.
Expecting institutional support from the very beginning of the change project. I think dealing with innovations in education sector needs awareness raising.
At first, I didn't go straight on to get enough information at an early stage. I think I assumed a little more than I should because I had to make a shift in terms of the implementation of my change project.
I didn't anticipate the change in the college schedule or the college program.
As I planned my project, I was very ambitious and I include different activities which might not be implemented.
Traditional mindset of my target group, those are the field level education officers and stakeholders. It was really very difficult to make them understand regarding their responsibilities for implementing ICT in education in the field level.
I am confusing with teaching young learner and the teacher because the teachers in Cambodia, they are a bit old-fashioned. They do not know how to use computer. But the young ones, they are learning very fast with that. So, you know, when I teach the teacher what I have done with the student and the teacher said, oh, I don't understand.
From very beginning, I failed to take some initiative to motivate our policymakers about our project. The policymakers really, in fact, in my country, they are not so aware about what I am doing.
We went to the classroom to see what is happening, and the teacher said, we have some iPad, but we don't know how to make it happen in the classroom because I myself don't know how to touch it, how to make it work.
My supervisor by then, Carl CG, told me that yours is much more less of a program than a project. So that was the first challenge. I had to redo it so that it can become a project.
That I thought I would have to work alone. And when we went to Sweden for the training, when people presented and I saw how others were presenting and how many they were, I discovered that it would be a great challenge if I worked alone. So from there, I had to change the strategy.
Resistance to change. Again, the governmental institutions really need to understand why is that project important, and there's always resistance to change. And in our case, a lot of energy was spent in awareness raising.
I had an assumption that because these people have been in class, because they have been using the computer, they are aware of these things. And I just took it for granted, only to realize that some people didn't know anything. They were using hard paper, the hard copies. They were not even using anything like searching or using a computer in class.
When I first got accepted in Life Academy, I went to the bright ideas that everybody will help me, and when I go back to my country, everybody is open-minded as I will be in the next few months. My biggest mistake was that, thinking that everybody will help and everybody's objectives are the same as mine.
Like the traditional way, I would not say those were mistakes, because I believe that we can learn from our mistakes. So my last mistake is my best teacher.
Program helped me where I am now and what I'm saying now.
For me, it has done a lot.
It was a big change in my life. Yes, to also come back with the skills and apply them to my colleagues. Because all the time I was knowing you have to teach the students, but this time I was teaching my colleagues, yeah, which was very interesting.
It is not only a training program for me, rather I would like to say that it is an enlightening experience for me that really helped me a lot to bring positive changes in my professional and personal life.
In Life Academy, we were told that it's not just one way of succeeding, but there are millions of ways to succeed. It is a matter of choice.
The first one was the courage and have the positive mind on doing a certain thing to the community.
It's really new knowledge for me, and it's really new for my university as well, because some of the teachers haven't used that one.
To strengthen the out-of-the-box thinking, an innovative way of solving problems.
It allowed me to be able to do as much as I was able to do in a relatively short time.
Sometimes we are not working, but when we get mail, then we start again our work.
Through this particular training program, we created a huge big network, and through this network we are able to connect each other.
The skill that I got in planning.
ICT pedagogy is a new way for us, and another one is how to write proposal to get financial support. These two factors help me a lot from Lai Academy.
We have produced some video about how people using ICT, and then we show to the student that this is the video of ICT around the world. We have developed a script, and then we record a video, and we use something that you have taught me, and very much thank you.
I have chance to meet the other countries from different places, and we can know and we can share experience on ICT project.
It gave us somehow the self-esteem and made it possible to look for solutions and resources that nobody did before in our country.
Well, this program has helped me a lot, to speak the truth, because my knowledge of ICT was minimal. What I was thinking about ICT, when people were talking about ICT, I was thinking about the usage of computer. But to me, since I went to the international training, I found out that ICT is the way of living to everyone. It's not only for formal education, but to everyone.
Yes, where I am now today, I totally say that it is a huge big contribution has come from there, that training.
First, I've gained confidence after gaining the skills and also the knowledge of managing the project.
It encouraged me so much to work hard, to have more skills that I had missed during my training, because being a teacher educator and being at the ministry, I looked at myself as somebody who has to steer the field work. So I put in a lot of effort building on the skills and knowledge that I got from this project.
Knowledge. There are many short courses, but very useful in making our project move.
I got an experience of knowing what is happening in the developed countries. Yes, it was a big change from the way I used to know things to the way what I saw, how people are applying technology, how little kids in a nursery school have tablets, how they can use them to do their work in class.
The Life Academy is the first person who has clicked, who has actually sparked the thought that if you want to see a change, you need to be a change. So you be the change. You need to change yourself.
We need to change ourselves at first. Don't think that you will change the world, but it is very important to change yourself at first.
Networking is very important. Whoever agent comes from any country, when going back to their country, they have to team up.
To be part of the change, that is one. And then you have to be committed to the work.
To be proactive and aim at achieving their set goals.
Start your project in a very small scale, see the impact, and then from there you expand slowly. So do not give up, keep going. and change will come.
You can think by yourself first, but you have to make sure that whatever you are doing, you have the support from the organ which are responsible in that area.
Today is a technology centuries, okay? So the 21st century need technologies. You cannot be a traditional modern or teaching way. You need to upgrade the teaching skill in a way of increased capacity building.
You'll be a change agent, but firstly, you have to be your own change agent. You have to try to change yourself to make a change.
Ask enough questions. Ask, you can never get enough information. Ask, and do enough research. Some of the questions I don't think there's any dumb question. So come in with the idea that you don't know enough, you don't have enough information.
Participation in this program needs motivation and it needs commitment.
They have to plan based on the resource they have. They should not be over-ambitious.
When one develops a proposal, then they think very wide way. But to implement, it is in small scale.
Innovative thinking, innovative thinking must be needed here.
You always start thinking in a bigger perspective. Perfect. There is nothing wrong. You have to think. But if that big project doesn't take any shape at the time, do not stop.
They should involve their supervisors. When you involve your supervisor, he will support you, she will support you.
If you want to achieve and your project run smoothly, you need to involve people from the beginning and give them some time to explore themselves first, especially for teachers. They need to understand and use it by themselves first. Otherwise, they cannot teach because they themselves don't understand what is it.
We should get involved, all stakeholders from the beginning of the project.
Assign the right team leader and group to join and to do this project.
To collaborate with our peers, our colleagues. I think that's another very, very unique way for us to be able to strengthen our network. And Life Academy has already given us a platform to do that.
To work very hard and make sure that their change projects end at the time they have planned.
They should not take things for granted. Yes, they should know that some things are not the same as they think.
Strong commitment and hard working, because in Cambodia, this is a very poor situation. So if you are not working hard enough, you receive nothing. If you do not have a strong commitment, you receive nothing. I have only two ideas: strong commitment and hard working. You will become a very good change agent.
You are the instrumental of the change. You be the change, and you will see the change, and you will feel the change.
We've seen a lot of interesting presentations here these days, and I'm quite impressed by the developments in some of the countries. Of course, we have only a selection of projects here represented, but I would say that what we've seen so far in the projects represented here is very encouraging, and I think that a lot of real change has happened through these programs and through these change projects, and it's also encouraging to see how they, in the countries, they work together, form teams, and they have a coordinated approach in many cases. Videos can be a very powerful tool, I think, both in terms of spreading information about what is going on, to report and present results that happen, and also it can be a way for the individual change agent to document what they do, to present for their peers and their managers in order to create a deeper understanding of what the change is about. progress has been going in different contexts, some context of course, but I think especially from what we've heard here these days, a lot of progress is going on, and I hope that this program, the final batches that we will recruit during the coming year, will also be able to build on what has already been made, the results that we have already achieved, and to even further explore the ways to implement ICT and to really use it in development of pedagogy and also administration of education. It has been a privilege to take part in these days and to meet participants and also their supervisors, to get a better feel for what is really going on and the change that is happening on the ground.